Blab, but my Wi-Fi actually caused the freaking problem because I had to switch my phone, and then I had to try to kick off the live stream. It was a mess today.
The struggle is real, Brian. We've just moved house, and I had to broadcast some stuff. We've had a Wi-Fi issue here with the line, and I'm actually using I've got 3 phones, one phone hotspotting another phone while I'm running the computer off of the Wi-Fi on the connection. So yeah, I feel your pain.
I got the Wi-Fi going. I got the phone going. It's bad. It's bad whenever I went and bought 2 access points before my internet to come in, so I could have one laptop on the AT&T, and then I could have my iPad and my iPhone on T-Mobile, so I could run Periscope, Meerkat, and do my stream. I was like, now I have a live streaming problem.
That's hysterical. You just now admit to having a live streaming problem.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The live streaming problem's been. That's why Mike Baltus is giving me shit in the chat because he's like, you should be unpacking boxes. I'm like, yeah, I should be, but I'm exhausted from that too. So now
you guys can't even start scratching the surface on having tech problems. In Australia, being from the UK, I'm used to having unlimited internet and things from my phone. I walked into a store this month and was like, I'm from the UK, used to unlimited internet, and what's the closest you can get me? And they just curl up in a ball because like the top packages here. Oh, hey, Kerry. I'm just going to accept her. New testing out Blab. So she's just jumping on for the first time. We went in and basically the highest packages here, not on an offer, are like 6 gig a month on your phone. So imagine when you're on Periscope, that's like, I killed that in like 3 or 4 days. So I did that and I went in and I kind of said to them, what's the closest you can get me? And I managed to get up to 24 gig, but still when you're on live stream, you get through that really, really quick. I think Kerry, that's yours. Can you just turn your volume down a little bit? That's another feature I like, is that you can mute someone.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, do I turn the sound off this or turn the sound off the Mac?
If you've got Periscope running, either silence that or turn it off, because you can now see it on screen here.
Okay.
But on the Mac, if the volume's really high, it might give you a reverb as well.
Okay, thanks guys. I'm brand new to this. This is the first time I've called in. Last night was the first time I saw it. Thank you, Tristan. I have Periscope on here, but it's frozen. I can't hear it. But now I can hear you, so.
Cool. You're testing the platform and jumping on. So you're on your computer at the moment, Kerry?
Yes.
Yes, cool.
So I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or just messing you up.
No, it's good. Like the whole idea of Blab is so that people can kind of jump in, join the conversation.
Thanks for that reassuring smile, Rachel.
Absolutely, you're doing great. This is good stuff.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
So I'm curious.
I think my Wi-Fi is not great, but I hear that other people are having issues with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you could, can you do, like Brian was talking about multiple devices, could I have, like if I'm doing an event, could I have one screen be my screen share and be able to show something like a YouTube video or another device going at the same time while I'm talking on another screen? Is that something you think that you can do with using?
Yeah. One of the things we did before we got to this solution, because I went through a couple of different solutions before I went live to Blab. This is obviously sharing a specific window. So this is sharing the QuickTime share with. So the QuickTime window that's mirrored into the computer is being shared now, with obviously some extra bits added. You can actually do a share whole screen. So I know for Brian, this will be one where Brian uses. I know he has to watch his TweetDeck and stuff, so he's got the whole screen up. So you could potentially have TweetDeck and next to TweetDeck have like another platform that you're using and watch the whole thing. So you could do a whole screen share, which will obviously get the dimensions right, because obviously you're going square rather than full screen. But you can set the dimensions of which bit of the screen you want to share. Yeah. But the only issue with that is when you navigate on the screen, if you bring a window up and it's in there, it will obscure things.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's when it's 2 devices. I think that's when you have to have 2 laptops to do the second one from a second device. If I was sharing out like a TweetDeck screen, I was just joking about marketing hits. Like I would love to have my stream, my webcam, Meerkat, and Periscope. Like that would be silly. Like that would be. It might be live streaming overload at that point, but that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I've got 3 screens that I usually run everything off of. I'll have my live stream in one screen, and then I'll have the other, like just like kind of talking about I use Hootsuite, and also I'll have that going to my other screens. So I just can keep an eye on all the mentions and everything like that. But I think that'd be pretty good. And I guess you could probably use like I'm on my iPhone right now, so I could use that as my main camera, to alleviate the screen popping.
No, yeah, for sure. That makes complete sense. Yeah, and that's interesting. I think the whole idea is interesting. I mean, I love the idea of mirroring it with Periscope seamlessly somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that I think is great about bringing in kind of the mobile device is the kind of, you've obviously got it's still got the webcam element, but it means that, like you can just do the whole spin around and I want to show you some stuff. So like it gives you the whole, that movable element. You're sat in front of the computer. Oh, sorry, Kerry, I'd muted you just because we had some feedback coming through from your feed.
Brian, can you hear me?
Connection. There we go. We can hear you now.
Brian, can you hear me? Can you wave?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, it was just because my end was feeding back.
I can't hear anything.
You now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
And have we lost the other guys?
Oh, I'm here.
I can hear you, Kerry. Yeah, you're back in. So this is the other thing I found with it is with all the feeds and stuff, it's actually good to have.
Oh, that's weird. Well, hello. Can you hear Brian? Right to right.
So yeah, unless you need the audio like I do, because I'm obviously on Periscope going out live as well.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything that I will contribute yet because I am brand new to this like right now and I can't hear the other guys.
I'm going to mute you for a second, Kerry, just like you did. I was just going to say, with the can you hear Randall? Is the audio okay here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with kind of having loads of people on and the kind of audio conflict that's still never going to be seamless. One of the ways to overcome that, I mean, I've obviously got my audio up on loud because I'm at the same time, and they need to be able to hear from my speakers. But it's advisable if you've got a group on to get everyone on headphones, because if they're on headphones, you don't get that feedback because you can't hear the audio from the computer, and that's obviously one of the major issues that a lot of the people are getting. Is especially if you look at like laptops, the speakers are next to the microphones.
Yeah, well, now here's my question. Like, I'm on an iPhone right now, so are you getting any noise feedback from my iPhone at all?
No, it's fairly good. It's a little bit of background noise, but it's not horrible to listen to.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do a quick thing. I didn't actually introduce this Periscope. I just jumped on because I was in the middle of a session. So I'm going to explain to people what's going on. So guys, anyone who's just joined on Periscope, it's this Tristan from AllThingsNetworking.com. We're just doing a bit of a tech hack at the moment we're using blab.im, and what we wanted to do is showcase a Periscope to when we're doing interviews with other people, so we could do a broadcast where they can see the questions and the interaction from people on Periscope as well as the conversation that's going on. So what we've got is my iPhone is actually connected through to my Mac, and then I'm sharing the screen of this through to Blab. So let me spin it around and you guys can see. So this is blab.im for anyone who doesn't know. Do go and check it out. It allows you to stream and connect with a whole load of other people and have a conversation with 3 or 4 different people. It's got an integration with Twitter for sharing on the left-hand side over here. And then on the right-hand side, there's actually a conversation section where people within Blab can actually have discussions and interact with the people who are live on Scope now. So we're just doing a few tests today. Later on today, we will actually go live with a proper Periscope cast to discuss these kind of techs. We just had Brian Fanzo on, getting really excited about the fact that he's potentially going to try and get lots of different platforms all together through Blab. So we'll see how that goes. So it's It's blab.im. Let me just I'm going to bring your audio back in, Kerry, so you're back on now. So yeah, just doing a quick test. We got Kerry and Randall on, and we just had Brian from iSocial Fans on. So guys, what are you thinking about it all so far? Have I lost you? We're having a few audio issues today. I think I've lost them. Spin around this way. So guys, yeah, that's what we're up to. We're just doing a quick test through blab.im, integrating Periscope in. Mikhail, jump in the call. Mikhail, jump in if you can hear me. I'm not sure what's going on with the audio situation. It's just it's brilliant. I mean, Brian Fanzo is really excited about using Blab across multiple platforms at the moment. So we're looking at Periscope and Meerkat potentially, and potentially TweetDeck. So it could get a little bit crazy. So yeah, there is marketing hits. Do connect with us. There is a couple of ways to do it. We're obviously doing it from an iOS device, which is obviously great. Thanks for jumping in again, Kerry. I should be able to hear you again now, I think, if the audio is working. I've got you unmuted, so we should be able to hear you. Do you wanna just test your audio? Mike, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the details of that one, but yeah, we're just doing a couple of tests, guys. So for those of you who have just joined, Mikhail, if you can hear me, can you just jump in on the call for me? So we're just doing a test with blab.im. So those of you who haven't seen it, hey, Kara's jumping in. Awesome. So this is a bit of a test actually, because we run a thing called Perry Tribe, so hashtag Perry Tribe, where we're business owners helping other business owners. Kara, hey.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, yes. We're back in with audio and everything's all good and groovy. I'm going to spin this around so you can see me, because you're relying on my Periscope to see me. So I've just got to keep explaining to the guys, because on Periscope it just looks like I'm talking to myself. And not them, so just wanted to show the tech side of it. I'm super excited that to see what Brian's going to do with it. Now we've kind of shared it with him. Hopefully he'll jump on and get some real exciting uses, and we'll get loads of extra content from there now as well. So
yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, for the next Perry Tribe thing, which we're probably going to try and do one tonight if enough people are free, is just jump in. It'll probably keep it to a short, maybe half-hour one, and let people come in and ask questions about different social platforms.
Yep.
So for anyone who's on the replay on Periscope, do check out blab.im. We'll be scheduling up a call for this evening if you wanted to get involved there. We will be putting it out through Periscope as well, because as you can see from this cast, we are doing a test where our Periscope is now seamlessly integrated into blab.im. So you'll be able to interact with us both on Periscope, asking questions to a group of 4 people on there, and also through blab.im's own chat thing. So yeah, marketing kits, please do send me a message about that, and I'll send you over. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. So that's all good. So what do you think, Cara? It's pretty cool, right?
I like it. I like it for panel interactions. I like it for just the fact that it's, I don't know, it's less clunky as a broadcaster to interact with, another 3 people face to face, but still have, over here, all of the conversation happening. So it's just that step forward from Periscope. I mean, I love Periscope, don't get me wrong, because it's for that one-on-one, but for people to chat, it's just handy.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that the tweet bit of it on blab.im, as people in the seats, on the side of it, the people, when people come in, you've got a new audience of or a new panel sat on when they at the time that they tweet. If you look at, let me spin it around so we can show the people on Periscope, is that as you tweet, it actually changes the names of the people who are live on the feed at the moment. So
which is fantastic.
Yeah. So apparently, Kerry, if you shut down your browser and restart it, that should solve your issues that you're having. Just got some feedback from the chat.
I think the benefits that I see definitely rules all over Google Hangouts, where Hangouts have a tendency to fall over, whereas this, from experience, has been a much more stable platform. I'm not necessarily sure whether it's because there are so fewer people using Blab as compared to Google, but it's certainly a much more stable platform, and I can certainly see it for training workshops, those kinds of things where you have, you know, the main person, 3 other people on there, and then you share out the link and the other people, the viewers, can participate in a chat. I know GoToWebinar drives me nuts because I can't see all of the other conversations that are happening in the side, whereas at least I know on Blab I can look over here and see what's happening down the other side for me. So
yeah, I mean, it's great that obviously we've got the conversation within Blab, so people can be interactive there, and obviously people find that through the platform, through the homepage of Blab, where you've got scheduled them ahead. I like the fact that you can have them scheduled a bit like you would with the Google Hangouts on air. Obviously, people can. The benefit to there is people subscribe. I haven't actually had one. I think it does. Does it do pop-up notification? You came on the subscription yesterday, I think.
Yeah, well, I've just put push notifications because I have to use Blab on my laptop. As an Android user, I can't use it on my phone. There is no Android app for Blab. So I've been using it on my laptop, and I've just established push notifications. So
yeah. Eileen, do feel free to jump in and chime in. I know you've got a lot to say about Blab, and we had a bit of a chat the other day, so do jump in the call if you want to jump in, please do.
Eileen, please jump in because I haven't had lunch yet, and it's 1 o'clock here in Adelaide, and I'm hungry. So rather than having Tristan talk to himself, if somebody else could jump in so I can go and grab some lunch, that would be fabulous. Herbie, yeah, you know what? It didn't work on Chrome. So I tried to open it in the Chrome browser. It didn't work. So I had to actually download Firefox browser onto my phone, and it worked on Firefox browser on my phone, but it doesn't work on Firefox on my laptop. So go figure. All right. Thanks, guys. I will catch you later.
I'm just going to pause the recording because Eileen wants to. We quickly jump back on the record. We only came off record because Eileen was didn't want to be on camera on record. So understandably so, because she's up in the middle of the night. So we're all good. But yeah, thanks for jumping in, Ryan. Like I say, I thought you'd be all over this kind of idea. I mean, this is like what we did with Hangouts the other day, and it took me. We did a broadcast for an hour last night. Businesses helping businesses through the Perry Tribe hashtag, and we. Yeah, like we were trying to do it. I had an hour to try and hack it, and I got to 50 minutes and decided I should prepare instead. And so we went live, and then today I've spent a little bit of time finding the solution. So yeah, more than happy to share it and do that. And actually, Alex put it's on my hit list of people to chat to. So if you're going live, I mean, I might jump in. I might come hijack your Blab and say hi.
Heck yeah! And by the way, Z and Co, what's your first name?
Neda. A lot of people forget it, so.
So wait, what is it again?
Neda, Neda.
Got it.
No, a lot of people forget it, so I don't blame you. Don't worry.
No, it's good. Now, so you're in. Where are you from? Also, are you from?
I'm from Canberra, so I'm 3 hours away from this guy.
Interesting. Okay. So, wow, there's, it's funny because people say that, you can see on the map on Periscope that you can't really see many people from Australia and New Zealand that are on. And there's a bunch of, Chocolate Johnny and Tristan.
Yeah. It's all kind of snowballed now, so we're coming in.
Right? I know, it's cool. I mean, and actually a lot of my clients are from New Zealand and Australia, ironically. So I'm used to that whole, the time, you guys being ahead and out, or in a day. And so it's really cool. Actually, I'm speaking to a bunch of realtors in I think it's either New Zealand or Australia day after tomorrow, and on how to use live streaming for real estate. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're building a really cool, not platform for them, but just a way to leverage it so that it's really cool because like Just Property Management, who's actually in Australia. I don't know if you know Corey Parippi. He's been on pretty early because I told him, like, Corey, you got to start doing this. And then another client of mine, Greg Watson from Watson Real Estate. He's also starting to use this, and they're starting to do walkthroughs with live streaming. So
that'll help my husband, I think, because he's a builder at the moment. So that'll probably be something he should look into as well.
Oh yeah.
With the real estate, I'm not sure how it is over there, but over here, as someone who's renting, you get this window of about half an hour to view all the properties because the realtor opens for 15 minutes. You go look, make a decision, and run to the next one. So you think about now, if you could be at one on like Periscope watching another one, like you'd get an idea of which property you're more inclined towards. And so it opens up a whole opportunity, and also for investment buyers buying from abroad means that they don't even have to leave the country now. They can just go and because it's you can interact. They can say, I want to look around there rather than a picture taken from the angle the photographer wants. You can say, actually, take me around. I want to look because I'm going to invest a lot of money in this property. I want you to go and look in that cupboard or show me around that corner. So,
yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And not only that, what you can do is you can have one guy start. And then you could actually have other people on your team actually do a takeover of the account and broadcast from the next property. You can just pass the scope from one property to another and just do a whole day of showings.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right?
Pretty cool.
Text being used is just like, it's outstanding.
Right. So like imagine Periscope, like you could show one property at, start at 9. You could say, hey, look, we're going to do property showings all day long. Every half hour on the hour, we're going to do a different property, and you can have a half an hour at each property. And then once you're done with that property, then the next person, I just thought of that. I didn't even think that. That's actually because you could just have the next person log into the account and do a takeover and just hand it off.
Yeah, I wonder how long it'll be before Periscope launches that. Because Meerkat has that as a functionality now, right?
Where you can hand it off like that? Yeah. You're sure?
Brian would be one who could chime in on it, and other people there. Covert Patron, by all means, jump in if you've got something you want to ask. Brian? I think Meerkat. Brian was on just before you came in, but I'm pretty sure that with Meerkat you can do a handover from one account from one.
No, Meerkat does not. Meerkat doesn't have that yet.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay.
No, they just have the cameo feature.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they have the cameo, but that you can't. Yeah, and you can also. The other nice thing is you can embed. I'm going to actually embed. They were nice enough here at Blab to give me the embed code, so I could actually put the actual stream embedded into my website with their actual viewer there. So that'll be pretty cool for the Alex Kahn interview tomorrow morning. So I'm really excited. So
Ryan, I had a question. Name's Covert Patron. I had a real quick question. You're talking about the real estate. One of the things, and it may just be an idea to throw at you, one of the things I know from looking at houses outside of my area, I would look at a house and then I would be like, man, I love this dining room. And then I would look at my wife, what was the dining room like at that other one?
Yeah.
So to have the realtors there for like per se, say an open house where they're there more than an hour. So if you pass one stream to another guy and I'm looking at his stream and I'm like, man, what were the cupboards like in that other one? He could pass it back and
that would be awesome.
show that. But I've got a lot of friends here in Cincinnati, Ohio, a huge real estate market who are in real estate, and I work with them through kind of off the wall marketing ideas. And man, I'm telling you what, you're onto something with this real estate. I think it'll change because not only do you get that, but you also get the builder having the ability to stream to the realtor who's sitting at a coffee shop with his clients.
Yeah.
But I'd be really curious if you think you could use it into an open house forum where people who couldn't make the open house could still see the open house.
Well, that's the low hanging fruit. I mean, that's a no brainer, because ultimately you just got somebody sitting there twiddling their thumbs when somebody's not showing up. So I mean, the pass the cast type concept is taking it one step further, right? Because ultimately, to be able to pass it one way and then pass it back and go back and forth to people, and here's what really happens. You end up really having to really do a training for the entire real estate division to really be able to do that. I mean, it's kind of like what Brian Fonzo was doing with doing a takeover, like doing the whole Applebee's thing. There's some training that's involved in this, but once you train the people on how to do this and how to, because you'd want to have, here's how you do it. It's really simple. You'd want to have that one realtor in one property. And shoot, maybe Blab might be a decent solution for this as well, because think about it. You could have 4 different realtors. You could have 4 different realtors in a Blab, and they could be.
I've got an even better solution for you, Ryan. Is you put 4 people on Blab, and they all show the kitchen at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
Pass that out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you could have 4 different people on. That's what I was just saying. We're saying the same thing, it's a little different way, but basically, bottom line is you'd have 4 different people on Blab. Either way, you'd want to be able to have the functionality. Now, even in Periscope, here's what would happen. You'd have that second person that got the scope. You would want that first person to actually jump on their scope so that they can actually see what's going on. And then if the scope needed to go back to the other person, they would then take it from there. There'd be a handoff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking about this before Blab came along. I was a meerkatter. What I do on live streaming is different than what anybody else does. My meerkat streams were the work I do with the homeless outside of my job. I feed the homeless. I sleep on the streets with the homeless, and that's what I would stream. But I was thinking about talking to someone at Periscope because, to me, meerkat's good, but it just has too many faults right now, about taking it to the new level when it comes to training, like corporation trainings. Like my friend just got a job in a hospital, and there were 32. She had to wait for 4 weeks to get hired because of when they could get everybody together to train these nurses, because you're bringing in a director of nurse from this hospital, you're bringing in somebody from this hospital. So logistics has always played a problem. Yeah. So I was thinking with Periscope and definitely with Blab that there's a new way to do these trainings. Because, if you I've been in a hospital for a week, and there's 9 hospital chains in the one hospital I was at, all in Cincinnati. And how much easier training would be for giant corporations to train one class of people, but be able to hit 13 different states or, 2 different countries at the same time. Yeah. Is that something you think Periscope could do, or even Blab could do that?
Yeah, I definitely do. Now you were saying you're primarily on Meerkat. You're not on.
I was primarily on Meerkat, but I left Meerkat for just there's a lot of issues, and I came on to Blab when it first started, and I've been Blab 100% the whole time.
Really? So you how many followers did you have on Meerkat when you left?
Gosh, I had tons. I don't remember how many. I was getting 10,000 a stream. I'd get 10,000 points, but I didn't stream much. I didn't want on the top 100 list. But everybody knew me because no one streams stuff like what I streamed. There would be no one on there who would stream an hour-and-a-half stream of feeding the homeless. There'd be, there was nights I'd sleep on the street with the homeless, and I would stream it.
That's cool, and that's kind of like the guy that did what oh my gosh, because I surf and I paddleboard, and there's that crazy Aussie, you Aussies, man. Dude, that guy had to freaking get in the water and do the scope from the water in the surf, and I'm like, damn it, he did it, and I'm like, and now he's got he's just some crazy dude that's just cruising around. Today I'm following him around.
I should do that wakeboarding.
Yeah, right. He's like, yeah, we're just looking for some surf. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's got and it's crazy, and because that's what I oh my gosh, it's been my dream. And seriously, it's up on my dream board up here. Look at this. I have to show it to you. You won't even believe this. So right there. So this is like this is what I came up with. Oops, you guys. Okay. So this is what I came up with like years ago. This right here. This is 5 years old. This is what I wanted to do from the beach. And here's all my car and all the other, my boat and camping and all that stuff. But seriously, so that was my dream. And seriously, is this not exactly what we're? Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? That's 5 freaking years ago, right there, dude. That's 5 years ago that was put up there.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a little? Is that not kind of a little like, like?
Crazy.
I was telling my fiance, I'm like, okay. I was sitting on my couch here today, and I'm looking up at this is right in the middle of my entire room here. This is where when I'm in Florida, this is I'm in a casita, which is like above my buddy's two-car garage here to hang out with my son for 10 days, and then I go back to San Diego for basically like 3 weeks to a month. And I'm sitting here, so I'm only here for like 1/4 of the month, and I'm looking up here and I'm like, holy crap, that's my dream board from like 4 years ago. And I had just gotten off Blab, and I'm like, dude, that's kind of freaky. So anyway, so the bottom line is that I can totally see what's your covert patron? Do you have a first name? Okay.
Kevin. You call me Kevin.
Kevin, okay. So Kevin, like I totally get where you're coming from in terms of like doing things that are new, that are different. I mean, expanding the capabilities of this technology. That's what I really enjoy doing. Like I'm like, that's why, Tristan and I are so alike. I mean, he interviewed me the other day, and he got on a hangout for the first time and immediately expanded, my capabilities of what I thought it could do. And I've been on it for like 4 years. And so, so he's like, totally a kindred spirit to me in terms of like, doing, what other people are, wanting to do. And this is, so what's really cool about this whole live stream thing is that it does allow us to not only engage like we're doing right now in a totally unique way, but also it allows us to do things that like what you're doing with the homeless. I mean, that's really cool to do that and use this technology in that way. I hadn't seen that. Are you on Periscope as well, Kevin, or no?
No, but Vicky has challenged me to go to Periscope. So my next stream that I'll be going out once I get over my illness, I will be Periscoping it. So cool. I am going to do Periscope. But let me ask you guys, since you guys did Periscope, then I'll jump off, let Herbie jump in. One thing that I've never seen on Meerkat.
Yeah, I'll jump off because you guys.
The one thing I've never seen on Meerkat, and I don't know if it's been on Periscope yet, but why has not the ghost hunting? There's such a ghost hunting community. Why have they not joined live streaming? I mean, I think it would bring it to a whole new level.
Oh yeah.
I guess from the point of view of what the devices can do, like capability wise of the cameras, I think that's the holdback, is the fact that they perform very badly under low light. And so obviously, does anyone want to? And I know that obviously if you're ghost hunting and stuff, you're generally out in the dark and stuff anyway. But as a stream, does it deliver as well like that? I mean, unless there's a scope for something else, a screen in front of the camera, maybe that kind of enhance, that gives you the kind of visuals.
Well, there's all kinds of I mean, obviously, with me being kind of the gadget guy, I mean, you can improve the low lighting obviously with a lot of different tools that are out there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like any other tool. I mean, there's like a UV detect, like there's all kinds of crazy. You could probably even like somehow like allow the phone to, you could like maybe have like an ultraviolet detection thing. They use all kinds of gadgets and stuff to detect ghosts on the shows. So infrared and all that.
They're building that. They must be able to. The amount of money they're spending on that, they must be able to build something that caters to that through sort of another camera.
Yeah. But that's a great obvious. How long has this how long has this been out, beta? And I mean, you know, Blab. How long is it? It's only been out for like what, a month and a half, 2 months?
I'm on 8 or 9 weeks of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So you started this when I started Periscope.
Wow.
It Blab's. I think it's about 8 or 9 weeks. Furkan just jumped on. He's the CTO. I think I may be right. So Furkan or Kieran, I know you guys are on here. How many weeks has it been going? I mean, I'm sure they've been under 3 months total.
Yeah.
From idea to now.
Jump in on that. With the talking about different uses of using like Meerkat and things and doing the live stream for the homeless. That's one that really kind of hit home for me, is that it's so different to everything everyone else is doing. Actually, in Australia, I'm now I've actually become the director of a charity for the homeless out here, because all the projects that we take on have to have a social good element now. And we've recently just worked with a pizza restaurant that opened in our area with the aim of feeding 2,500 people in their first month. And we hit 2,688 in the first week because of the social good element. And then now we actually have had a tip in from someone who writes for Huffington Post and the Good Men Project. This place has been open for like 3 weeks. Well, now it's obviously longer, but at the time, for like 3 weeks, we'd had Huffington Post and the Good Men Project interested. And I said, the problem was it was too good marketing, and now essentially it's a new restaurant and they're still bedding in. If that kind of publicity goes out, it could potentially fail the restaurant. So it's great news, but at the same time, it's got to be well handled. So now we're managing how they kind of control that and make the best of that. But we're discussing how you get because obviously now, how do you get that food out there? Because they're doing pizza for pizza. Like everyone that got donated.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I mean, there's.
They now need to get that out. So to do an actually Blab.
Looks like he dropped out there.
Yeah, it's kind of cutting off.
Yeah.
He's got the robot going.
Yeah, he does. That's what happened to me tonight on the Google Hangout. It was driving me nuts, man. I mean,
would take it to actually
did you see
one of the things?
Ben, you have like the best mic right now. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that thing is like so like warm.
Oh,
and
great.
Poor Tristan is still talking in the background.
Yeah. Knowing that you're such a mic guy, Ryan, it's a Samson C10U. I think that's right.
Thing is, I mean, seriously, Kevin, isn't that an amazing sound he's got there?
It is. It is. He sounds great.
Wow. Here, I'm going to tell
you.
Yeah.
Ryan, you were talking about uses for this, and I'm getting ready to jump off. One of the cool uses that I found for this, well, not only is it going to help with the homeschool group that we're in, because we homeschool our kids, but I have been talking to the state of Ohio about possibly using this for some of their state debate competitions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine having a debate competition where you got live people watching and they can actually vote by using the fields? You know, I think they had a better debate, or I think it would bring a whole new element. So the guy who hosts the state debate competition is in my school district, and I was talking to him about 4 days ago about it, and he was really interested in it. So, it's the future.
Yeah, no doubt. And by the way, is my audio a little bit better now?
It does. Nice little clip-on mic.
Check that little. That's not a nipple clip. That is a clip-on mic right there. And yes, it does. It works really well. But Vin, where'd Vin go? Vin, come back. I want to compare. There he is. Vin.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just dropped out.
There you go.
Am I back on?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan, you were saying?
No, so I want to hear what. So what do you think about? I want to get a little comparison between the actual clip-on mic and what Vin's got there, because you got a pretty serious mic there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm just testing.
Testing.
That's good. I like it.
But can you tell a difference?
Which one do you think's best? You might have a bit of an echo there, Ryan, because you've got some
Kristen,
just the nature of the room you're in.
Kevin, Kristen,
they both. I think maybe Vince just got that is more soothing of a voice, and it just takes you to a whole new level.
He does, doesn't he? He's like, hey guys, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Cheers.
But I'm going to jump off here. Ryan, it was good meeting you. And I'll shoot you a DM when I finally do that Periscope. When I do my first Periscope with the homeless, I'll shoot you a DM.
Thanks, Kevin. Nice meeting you.
Kevin,
all right, nice meeting you.
I'd love to be in on that one as well, so make sure that you connect.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And shoot me a DM if you ever have any questions. My family is just a family of 5. We've been doing it for 2.5 years. We have fed over 15,000 sandwiches, just our family. And we've got 175 off the street in the shelters, and we've got 38 of them off the streets, out of shelters, and into their own working world. So, and that's without any donations or anything for the past 2.5 years. So,
amazing.
Any questions you have, this is, and I used to be homeless myself. I lived it for years. So, got myself off the street. So anytime you guys have any questions, feel free to holler at me.
Fantastic. I'd actually love to connect and have a full blab chat with you just on that topic. Let's without anything else, because it's close to my heart as well. So
yeah,
okay. Let me know.
I've been there too. So I've been there too. Yeah, I know exactly what that's all about.
Well, we'll get together soon and we'll do a homeless stream on Blab.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Awesome, guys. Well, I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna let somebody else jump in. This is really cool. I mean, I'm blown away. I mean, it's cool to be actually able to interact with you guys, Tristan, Vin, Eileen earlier. I mean, it's just, it's getting late here, obviously on the East Coast. We got a lot more West Coast guys that are probably going to hang on until a little bit later here. But, I mean, just really cool, because it's kind of interesting how this progression has happened, where we've all been in a Periscope Meerkat world one-on-one. And, now, we got the Texta that just jumped. Jason just jumped in there. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Ryan. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, good. So I've seen you. Now you were on. Were you on early? Were you on the other one earlier today, or no? I think you.
I've been popping in and out, so it might have been earlier in the day.
Yeah. So, and you said I love Periscope, Meerkat, Fire. Are you using all of them?
Well, I'm trying. So I've had some technical difficulties. I'm getting over those, so I should be hopefully getting on the air soon.
Awesome. On the air soon with now. So are you? Which one have you used primarily in terms of the other ones?
I've been primarily following on Periscope, a little bit on Meerkat, and I've just got hooked on this about a week or so ago. So
yeah,
it's fantastic.
But you haven't gone live on Periscope, or
no? Because I've had technical difficulties. Periscope doesn't work so well apparently with the 1+1. Sadly, so I can watch, I can comment, but I can't broadcast. And when I do broadcast, most people can't seem to connect, so it's kind of pointless.
What's a 1+1?
You've never heard of 1+1? No. Oh man, it's fantastic. It's their tagline is the flagship killer, and they've been going after Samsung like crazy. The hardware is on par with Samsung, but it's pretty much half the cost. Like it's about $300.
Nice.
Unlocked, fully, customizable. It's got pretty much close to Google Android functionality. No bloatware, all that kind of stuff. It's just fantastic.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, I mean, it's that's where everything's going. We were just talking about that earlier when I interviewed on Periscope Kevin Madison, who's got a huge, SMS text message marketing system that he, company that he owns, and then Damian Zamora with Go Mobile, who has a huge, everything is all obviously Go Mobile. It's all mobile enabled apps and everything that he's designing. And it's like these guys are totally remodeling their businesses based on live stream. And even though they've been focused, Go Mobile, I mean, for years they've been focused on mobile. Now it's like you can see it's like front and center. You can't avoid it. It's here, and especially with these kind of technologies, it's just making it that much more evident that this is where things are going. And you've got Bruce Laird in here. That's interesting. Guys that are like electric Livewire specializes in residential electric troubleshooting, remodeling, and service calls. I'd love to hear how guys like him are using this technology or live streaming. I mean, that's what I do my Periscope Hangouts about is I don't know if you guys have seen them, but like how businesses are using this technology, like the electricians, the dentists, the attorneys. I mean, very interesting. Are there some blabs that focus on that you guys have seen?
No.
Really?
There's a gap there for you.
Wow.
But I think it's going to be something that is going to start blowing up. Obviously, if as Furkan was saying, that from idea to today, we're looking at about 3 months. Look at how much it's gained in 3 months, and look where it's going to go in the next 3 to 6 months. So, if you're already thinking about it, somebody else is probably thinking about it as well, and I think it's going to blow up. Yep,
we got a Lyft driver on here. Another
right hand side that they're doing that. They are doing it over there. Livewire Electric down the bottom of the chat. If you scroll.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Joy's. Yeah. I mean, you've got a Lyft driver on here. You've got most other people. It's just interesting. Like I'm just seeing what kind of work for Social District and write ebook guides on technology. You got a lot of obviously technology people. I mean, you're tech stud.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought that was interesting that the whole blab streams are cut into tech or non-tech, and if you don't know about it, it's not apparent. In fact, the latest revamp of the interface makes that even less apparent, that there is actually two different worlds, and that tech is for some reason separated from everything else. I think it's a bizarre choice to make myself.
I think that's probably a good question for the blab team. Really is. I mean, probably early days, there's probably a defined difference between tech and then just sort of everybody else. And it's a good separator for today, but where in the future are we going with it, right? Or where are they going with it in the future? Are you going to have all these subgroups? Are you going to be able to just tick off, I want tech, gardening, shopping, and those are the three things that I'm kind of interested in, and I'm going to have all the blobs that are related to that kind of show up.
Sure, but for now, we should be seeing all of them. Is my opinion. Because it seems that half of them are hidden.
Yeah. And I know that's what Eileen was saying earlier, is if you're new to it, make sure that you do jump into both of the channels so that you might, because some people will only watch one or the other. And I suppose the reason for splitting tech and not is obviously if you get 4 guys on who are really, really techie and you join that, you'd probably be lost in about 2 minutes if you're not tech minded. So I guess that's probably the reason for the tech non-tech split.
Yeah. So it looks like Furkan is making some comments here, which is pretty apparent. So we'll be adding more communities soon. So I guess I hope that becomes a little bit more apparent, a little bit more standoutish for when somebody new is coming on, or even not. That it's just easy to see and recognize and pick off the ones that you want. And I think it makes much more sense as we see more specific communities forming. We'll be adding them, he says. I think right now that we feel like this the subreddit model makes a lot of sense. So, it's true. People are going to want to have their own communities and not just see everything. As this starts to blow up, which it will, it's going to get oversaturated. So to your comment, Vin, I think, it's perfect and valid. It might be good in early days to have it, everybody see everything. But as it starts to blow up, seeing too much, it gets really confusing, and you're not sure where you're supposed to go or which community you feel or which blab you feel you should be partaking in, right? So maybe early days, 2 is pretty good. Tech in general. Is it apparent? Maybe for some, maybe not for everybody.
Yeah. Really, this is interesting. I mean, and I see over here that Livewire Electric. I don't know his name. I
think it's Bruce.
Bruce. Okay. So, man, I wish people. Is there a way to find the person's name? I mean,
yeah, just click on their name.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Bruce. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. And don't X out of the tab. Just click the X in the upper right, or else you'll drop the tab, and you'll drop right out too. But I mean, Bruce. I mean, he's look at his bio. Livewire specializing in residential electrical troubleshooting, remodeling, and service calls and then blah blah blah. I mean, it's fantastic. Why isn't he on here every day in talking about it?
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I really love to know like what he's doing as a here. Well, and one thing he did is he said Faircon. Look at my DM. Direct. Are you guys using DM to chat back and forth on Twitter? Is that how you guys are communicating a lot through Blab, or is there a DM in Blab? There's no DM in Blab.
There's no DM or there's nothing like that in Blab right now. It's all
okay.
Yeah, from the profiles you can go straight through, obviously, to someone's Twitter handle. From there, there's the Twitter bird that you can click through to straight into their Twitter account.
Okay.
Oh, the DM thing was related to a family concern. So anyway,
gotcha. Okay.
He was just pointing him.
Oh, look at that. We got Bruce. There he is.
Hi, gentlemen. How you doing?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey. So I take it from your the beginning of the conversation there that you haven't been with. Hey, Eileen, how you doing, babe? You haven't been with the Blab family too long here.
No.
Okay. I mean, so quickly, what's going on is there have been a lot of changes. Obviously, it's in beta form still, and Furkan and the other members of the team we're so happy that they are like immediate with their response to our concerns, our needs, and we have been also immediate with them as far as we just give them all the feedback that we possibly can. Many of us are on here until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the conversations get really deep. Some of them get really light, and during the day, just to answer your question that you had, I have been processing all of what I've learned over the last 4 weeks or so on various platforms. And I've come up with, obviously there are certain things that you have to do in order to have a show, in order to have something work, and in order for it to dovetail into your business. And one of those things is consistency, of course. And if you are a Meerkat follower or observer, anyway, there is somebody on there who has now also joined the family over here in the Blab. And I refer to it as a family simply because there are things that come up here that are very, very deep concerns. And there are, as always, there will be, troubled children, your troubled child. There'll be the person who is so focused on what they need to do that, it's at the exclusion of others. And then there are a lot of people, I must say, who open their hearts and open their minds. And it sounds really sappy, but to tell you the truth, being from Southern California, maybe I can't do anything else but sound that way. And, I have a lot of faith in the community at large. It's a very, very reassuring thing to see the difference between this and any other community that I've ever joined. So given that, my particular thing is, along with personalized applications for mobile phones, I want to be able to, because I've been branding myself for my whole career, and I've had my business for 9 years in this area. So I have a really, really good following, a really good attachment to this community. And I have some very, very good results from my work. I'm good at what I do, but I'm also very willing to have other people take that over. Because I'm ready to make the next move on, and I'm doing so anyway. So the community here gives this kind of support as if to say there is nothing stopping you. You can do this, And many of us have the tools with which to help you. So you do not have to recreate the wheel. And there are many times when you come into a community like this, for instance, where you won't get anybody telling you anything. You won't get anybody, saying, hey, welcome. What can we do to help you? The people that started this community, the early adopters, have become the family that whole structure is sort of like, that sort of wire mesh that they build things over. It's the wire mesh that's holding it together. And it's quite amazing. But then I'm a big proponent of community. I'm a big proponent of communication. I think it's all of it. It's everything. And what we have right now is mobile. If you don't have a site that's mobile ready, you're dead. And if you don't have an application, it doesn't matter what you Herbie, the Lyft driver, has an application that was made by another one of our community members. The application is simple, but it's there. And the thing is that you build on that application, you get your name out there. Herbie is the kind of Lyft driver that is a personality. His personality is bigger than what he does. He is a wonderfully warm person, and you can get that immediately from what his content and his contact is. So that when he does a meerkat with his driving his Lyft, you tell somebody about that and they're like, really? How would that work? How would that be interesting? Really, how would that be interesting? Except that Herbie has a personality that is a winning personality. And it's that kind of thing. When you build on that and you have other people around you who say, yes, you can do that, and we see it, and you see it, and you have that vision, then, the sky's the limit, and that energy just exudes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys that, there are so many things going on in the Blab community, and I'm really excited about it. And one of the things that I'm actually doing is getting up a donation site for one of our members who was just gotten back from the hospital. I'm going to be working on that right now, and that's, in fact, what I was talking to Furcon about. So I'm going to jump out now.
Hey, really quick. Bruce,
yes, sir. Yes.
Where are you in are you in San Diego?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Oh, I thought you said Southern Cal. You said you're
I came from Southern California. It's the root of my being, is really kind of California. Don't I talk like a surfer?
Oh, yeah. I surf, I paddleboard. I'm in South Florida right now. Are you from is that San Diego? You said that
I'm from Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. Okay, cool.
And you?
I'm actually from South Florida. I've been in San Diego for the past 3 years.
Okay.
With my fiance, and I go back and forth between the two. So anyway, it's just I was going to see if you're in that San Diego area, because that's where I'm at right now.
Wonderful. Well, I often get back to California in my mind, but very often not in my body. so I envy you. If there's anything good about envy, I'll throw it out there.
No. It's cool. It's cool to meet you guys. It definitely. The one thing I do have to say, even in the short time that I've been on here, like having met Sean today, and just it's just amazing. Brittany, I believe you guys with the blonde, with the see-through, the glass, the cool glasses.
Yeah.
Like
she's quite a fashionista, actually.
Yes, I've just seen her from here. But
I mean, for 12, she's really doing well. We kid about that. She's actually an adult, but we don't know whether she's a really little adult or what. She's just so cute. She's like your girl, your sister, or the girl next door that you go, you know what, you're going to kill some people. You're going to really break some hearts, And then I have to think, oh, wait a minute, she's an adult. Stop.
Yeah, right?
Because people don't like to hear that. I'm 59 years old. What the hell? She's probably old enough to be, young enough to be my daughter, whatever.
I'm 42, I'm going to be 44 soon. But what I was going to say is that, man, they are really in here helping make this, this platform better. It's really cool to see that.
Well, that's what I definitely wanted to say was, I didn't want you to go away thinking that there were things that were sort of odd about it and, not so relevant, whatever. The thing that I notice is that the changes that they make, the updates that they make, sometimes, it's like, what? But you get to ask the question. That's the difference. You could be going, what to all kinds of other applications. You never find out, right? I ask what about an Uber, and I never find out because I can't get a hold of Uber. Uber was, they're just not get a hold of people, right? I can't get a hold of my driver. I don't know his email. I just don't know about it. And I get why, certain things have to be kept, but I mean, close to the chest, right? But really, when it's something that we use this much, that's why I say, like, wow, are we ever lucky to have this group? I mean, whoever put this group together was thinking the correct way. And that's why I kind of like, there was a time there where I went, I don't know. It seems to get kind of personal. It's like getting kind of down. Well, you don't like it? Change it. Come in and get personal and get positive,
I like it. Oh yeah. I'm right there with you. This is cool. I mean, I one of the first things that, Tristan, and I don't know, Jason, if you saw me in the beginning of Periscope, I was like, immediately, because I have my, I have a background in digital marketing and I've been using Hangouts for my clients for a long time. And I'm like, I want to bring other people into this experience. And that's what Sean was saying today when he got on my scope. It validated what they were thinking about doing here with Lab by seeing people like me doing that on Periscope and like what, Tristan, you and I did the other day, where you interviewed me from the airplane, over Hangouts, and then you scoped it. And I mean, it's like there's a natural progression to want to bring other people in the experience, not just comments,
Absolutely. And wouldn't you, if you had an experience with a group of people, let's say, for instance, you join an extreme sports group, wouldn't it be your pleasure to invite other people in? Who you knew would get off on that. Like, oh man, I know this photographer down there. By the way, I have a degree in photography, just in case you want to know. But, I have this photographer friend down the street, Bruce, he's an electrician, but I think that he might be interested in this group, Extreme Story. Maybe we could get him to, bring his GoPros and all that kind of, well, yeah. And so that's how it goes, because we know that the people that we're bringing in here get so excited about being able to contact people in a very intimate way. I know of people who have been over there in Periscope. In fact, there are probably, I would say, 150 at least teachers who just came on board this last weekend, during the last weekend, and they were exposed to Blab. They are taking this back to the classrooms with some real big thoughts. I mean, they're going gangbusters, and they're not slowing down, and they just got in here, and immediately Brittany got right on it. Furkan got right on it. Everybody joined in and said, how can we help you? How can we help you grow your community of teachers? And, let's see this work. I mean, who hasn't had a teacher that influenced them in their life?
They are gonna seriously, they are gonna crush it with this app. I mean, Ryan Bell told me about it, and he was like, I'm not telling everybody. I'm gonna tell you, seriously, you got to get on Blab. And I'm like. And he kept it on the down low. He didn't want to taint it, so he's like, I'm gonna tell you because he's like somebody was twisting, he didn't want to show off his little pet. He had his little pet, and he wanted to keep it hidden away and not reveal it to anybody else. And I heard it from I think Fonzo, I think Brian had talked about it. And and then I'm like, oh my gosh, not another one. I'm like, my eye. Fire talk, I'm like, oh. I'm like, holy cow! And then, but then, I saw it, and I'm like, okay, this is what, they're doing it right, and with all the features, I mean, with the embedding, the ability to be able to embed the player, with the fact that you can put links in the profile, now that you can actually give other people feels, you've got not just one person. Right. You got the chats that are on the side, and it's not the main thing. It's the pay attention to it, but it's not the main thing that you're like I'm so squirrel, the comments, I'm gone, and I'm reading those comments, and I just can't. It's so hard to stay on topic because I'm just so focused on the comments with Periscope, and so. This is cool. I'm stoked to be on here.
Have you ever been to Meerkat and watched Lattes with Lydia?
No.
Lydia Madison is somebody that you need to go over and see on Meerkat in the mornings, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I know it's a little early for you there on the West Coast, but pull it together, check her out. Also, these Meerkats are archived, so now you can see the recordings of it. She has one of the best techniques of doing that very thing that you're talking about. That business of, we're all about the squirrel, and in this ADHD world, where we're all kind of affected by something that we never knew they would come up with. Of course, that's big pharma for you. But anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. But she has a certain way of bringing in all of the people, and she has hundreds of people watching her, and she just gets right on these comments, right one after another. Now, you'd think that with all of that keeping up, how do you even run a show that has anything relevant to say other than what other people are saying? Well, she does. And it's just by the magic of her personality and her personality meld with her engineer, with the person who is now, taking over certain portions of the programming and so forth. And of course, they started as a couple. They're a man and wife, but you never would know it because you never see him. Yeah. The beauty is that sooner or later, and here's a lesson too, one, about consistency. She's on every single morning. You can expect her to be on, even if she, when she went to California to help her family move, she meerkatted from a Starbucks there early in the morning. Wow. Just so she would be on time. That's the kind of commitment she has to her show and her branding. She also is a business consultant, and she deals with tech and she deals with general issues, but mainly it's business. Mainly it's really, really on point. It's something that everybody that listens to it says, I just can't do without this show. Yeah. So when you have that kind of following, she's doing something right. I'm a big believer in mentors and following people and mirroring their activity. This has been drilled into me by many people. Tony Robbins, probably not the least. My training in EST certainly had a lot to do with who I am today. These models, these things that we mirror, there's a really good reason for them happening. Yeah. That person is the person to follow, I think. Also, there are other people in our community that were on here. There's Leela. She just graduated from university. Great, mind here. She has shows on food over there at Meerkat. She's now over here on Blab as well. Eileen Smith, who teaches, she has a blog teaching style that I think is really straightforward. And companies want her because she's just so direct and it's easy to understand her. It's easy to get this stuff. Yeah. So start following these people and go, wow, yeah, okay, I get it. I get how I'm going to do my thing. Yeah, that's
the great thing about the medium space that we're in these days with the video content and the rawness of it, is that it's just so compelling. It's so organic. It's so rich with content and the diversity of the information and the knowledge and it's so readily available out there. Right. Up until recently, we've had a lot of text-based mediums where we communicate via text. There's only so much richness, warmth, understanding from a text-based environment that you can get. Sure, you can have a lot of consistency. Sure, you can share a lot of information. Sure, you can get to know somebody by their text form. But as soon as you add video, as soon as you have live streaming, as soon as you add the voice, the content, the same content that you'd be putting out in text, you put it out in voice and in video, it changes everything.
Yes, everything. It does. That's a very good point. So for me, let's say, for instance, I have a blog and I share with you what does a GFCI really do? And do you need them, and where do you need them? What does the law say? And are there really people who are out there being saved by these particular items? Are there any dangers involved with it? And so on and so forth. I can blog about that until I'm blue in the face. And do you think anybody's going to really read it? No, of course they're not. because it's just wah, 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 wah. So I take people with this kind of a format into the field, and I say, this is what a GFCI looks like, and this is what to do if it's tripped. You do not have to call an electrician like me and have me charge you a service call of 2 hours minimum for $90 an hour to do this. Please DIY it, get it done, and call me for the more important things. However, what I'm really interested in doing is educating you as to how does this device actually work. Technically, you have some technical interest in it. Hey, get on board with me. Ask me that question. Do you have an interest in, like, are there different designs? So that you kind of look at, a little different way of doing it, or lighting, or fans, or whatever, right? Wouldn't it be nice to have? I have a show in mind, and I'm just going to put it right out there because I know it's going to happen. And I know I'm going to do it, and I know I'm going to do it faster than the person who's listening to this who wants to steal the idea. Because you know what? It's not good karma to steal the idea. So here we go. And especially of an electrician, because we're kind of dangerous.
Shocking.
Yeah, there you go. How did I know that was going to come? So it's called, instead of This Old House, it's called This Old Electrician. And as I'm getting 59, I figure, this old electrician would be pretty good. Now, I don't know if, maybe somebody out there in the community can tell me if I might be, stepping on anybody's toes in some kind of way, by that. But, yeah, we'll see. Maybe I need an intellectual lawyer at this point.
No, that's good. I love
intellectual property lawyer, rather, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, IP.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm just, man. It's so you let Sarah in this in Sarah Moore. In this?
I haven't worked out how you pick that yet.
What's that?
Okay, something's going on there. Whoever it is that has their phone, or they have two instances of Blab, you need to cut it down because it's echoing. Or put headphones in your handset.
Ryan, you need to sort your audio. I've muted you my end because you're the one who's giving me the feedback.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever you change there.
Do you have a double tab open by chance?
It's from when you left and when you went off and come back. It's come up as that's when we had the audio problem.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you can hear. I took my microphone out. I don't know.
Put it back in.
Put it back in?
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Let's try.
I'm trying. Is that better? I don't know.
Much better.
No,
wait a minute. I can still hear myself.
Check and see if you got two tabs open.
No, I don't. It's at Sarah Moore.
Yeah, she's hijacking.
She's not the fifth person.
Poor Sarah.
I'm gonna jump off, and I'll let you guys. It's been great talking to you guys. I don't know if you can hear me, but
I could hear you. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Here's money.
Just thanks, Ryan.
So, well, it must have been his problem because there's no more echo.
Anyway, you were saying, Bruce?
Gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, you were doing This Old Electrician. And
Yeah. So I think there's something to be said about people using this kind of platform in business. For me, it's very important that I get my word out to more people than just this area. It's like I've always enjoyed those shows. Like This Old House. I like the idea that my local Home Depot has classes, where people can make little things. I always enjoyed, like when friends would put together and take apart electronic pieces, And now what's happening in the industry is so much more is happening with home automation specifically. Now, applications for home automation is the way to go. So I figure applications for electrical work and electrical knowledge and that kind of thing is very, very much the way to go as well. Because every once in a while you have that question. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to have somewhere to go to say, can I get some free answers here? I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody out of business. In fact, my model is actually to empower other people in other cities so that when I get a call in and they say, hey, Bruce, Livewire, can you answer this question? We need to have this kind of what should I be paying for this kind of a thing? Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you get in touch with my guy over there, and they can be, this is somebody who is vetted, by us, and you can trust this guy. He's in your area. Give him a call, and if he has any problems, he can always get on this particular blab with me and you. And we can all talk about it.
I'm appreciative. I'm very technical. Like I enjoy absorbing other people's knowledge. If they're willing to give it to me and they're the experts, give me as much of it as you possibly can, up to whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Even if I don't understand what you're talking about, you're planting a seed. I'm either going to go and research it myself, or I'm going to ask you more questions and go. Give me more. If I'm really interested, I'm going to be acting like a sponge. I'm going to want to absorb it all. And why not? If somebody's willing to take the time out of their day, whether paid or unpaid, to give me information, and it's relevant and it's stuff that I enjoy and that I want, why wouldn't I? I mean,
it's the way I feel, and many times people, either they on the giving side feel as if there's a pie, and there's only so many slices to go around. And I was told when I was young, life is not like a pie. There aren't a finite amount of slices here. Let's be serious. You do what you do because you enjoy it. You do what you do because you're excited by it. And when people come into your life and they are allowing themselves to also come along with that wave, then it is just like that. It is just it's that momentum. So when you get momentum in your life, whether it's spiritual momentum or whether it's sports momentum or whether it's learning momentum,
whatever your passion is, momentum.
It clicks and you get that sweet spot. It's called, for me personally, I call it the juice of life. The juice of life is between those 2 points where it is, for me, I was just talking about this with somebody regarding a church setting. The juice of life to me is that place in between where something is predetermined and something is serendipitous. So, for some people, something that's predetermined they get kind of tight about it. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I can go that far. I don't get it. And then for the other side of it, it's like, yeah, hey, things happen whenever they happen. It's just kind of like a free form type of a thing. But the juice is right in the middle because you have intention. As a human being, we have free will and we have intention. And when you put those two in synergy and you find people that you can kind of connect with, it just builds on itself. And your excitement alone will build, will give you the reaction.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's key that we embody and traverse the waters, if you will, with like-minded people. It's only going to be as infectious as the rest of them that partake in it, and it's just going to keep the ball rolling and keep us going.
Well, it certainly helps. It certainly helps. Yeah. I mean, it is difficult to navigate the waters by yourself, and when you do, for a certain amount of time, either you start to give up, you get lonely, or a combination of many factors, and somehow you just sort of stop, and then you're not getting it. And then when you do finally get a glimmer, you go, oh, wait a minute. What have I been doing here? Like for the last 13 months, what have I really been doing? I have not been serving myself. I've not been serving, my higher good or my higher, God or whatever it is. Who am I to say that that's the wrong way to look at it? Boy, those people, the people who are really clicked in spiritually, who are really clicked in physically, who are really clicked in, with what they eat, just that alone, like listening to your body. Wow. That was a big turn on to me.
Yeah, I think that's something that I need to take into account. The spare tire is getting a little.
Try being a vegan. All I can say. Yeah. I've been a vegan for 3 years. I lost 40 pounds. I have more energy than I've ever imagined. I'm 59 years old. I had
a colleague that did that. He was an everyday eater, probably like I am. Junk food here, this, that, and the other burgers and so on. And he just cold turkey vegan. And the first couple of weeks are probably trying for sure. But a month or 2 or 3 in, the energy level just gets cyclical and just keeps getting better.
Absolutely, it does. My former girlfriend,
complete body detox.
Right. My former girlfriend said that she was going to try it for a month, and I said you might want to give it a little bit more than that. And she's been a vegan now for about 1.5 years, and sees a tremendous difference. And I don't think that she's planning on ever going back to eating animal products. Now, I must say, there are plenty of vegans who eat junk food. It's really not about that so much. However, I've got I got to get off that soapbox because I don't want to go down that road. I know a lot of people get really sort of like about it. I mean, eating is a very emotional.
Let's have a blab about it. I think that might be better.
Yes, well, I'm doing one of those too. In fact, I started one and I over on Meerkat, but I couldn't get the following that I needed to. So I'm putting it together again. It's going to be on Blab. It's going to be 5 days with a vegan. Basically, it's going to be my vegan diary. Not that I am doing it only for 5 days, but I am going to propose that and see what people think and what kind of ideas they come up with, questions that they have, whatever, So I'm going to be going through everything I eat, what I do, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be perfect.
Coming in on Periscope about the conversation as well. So.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I just
cool. And I'll get them to fire it up again. Yeah. So Bruce got in on the beginning. Obviously, I'm actually live on a Periscope feed. So mine is a Periscope feed that you're watching. It's not a standard camera.
Gotcha.
You can see with all the bits and which are we?
I see. Yeah. That's where you were pointing down there. Got it.
Like putting all the stuff at the bottom is I'm trying to interact with the guys here as well.
How many people do you have on the Periscope feed?
There's only so at the moment we're down to like 3 or 4, but we have been sat on here for about an hour or so. So people jumping in, and of course it doesn't necessarily make sense. That's why you might notice sometimes I keep flicking it round.
Got it.
So
right.
We actually launched it as a tech. Just as a test to see if we could get Periscope on here, and I went on, and 18 people joined, and then Brian Fanzo jumped in, and Ryan jumped in, and we were like, "Oh, this looks like it's going to stay live for a little while."
So is that the Perry Tribe thing that you're talking about up here?
Yeah, we're talking about the interconnectedness and helping share knowledge. We
Absolutely.
actually on last night. There's a group of 13 or 14 of us that are kind of interconnected from Periscope, and we decided to jump on and give a live kind of Q&A through Blab of real people in business giving kind of the advice, and so you can learn. As our name suggests, we deal in networking and connecting people, and we get to work cross industry. So we're not industry specific. So we take and implement ideas from one industry to another, and it's that whole. The amount of knowledge, and actually there's a lot of leverage from all the people around. It suddenly becomes this collective knowledge because everyone's sharing their knowledge freely, and that's a really powerful thing. That's what we're doing. So we've actually changed it because we're now doing it as a Q&A, so people can curate between all the conversations. So we've now, if you can see on my screen, we've put up the Ask Perry Tribe hashtag. So if people want to ask anything in between the conversation, we can then just
Got it. It's really interesting. Today I went to I stopped off at one of my favorite haunts, and I always promote wherever I'm at. I promote, if I'm at that particular place, which is Star and Shamrock here in Washington D.C., a very unusual. If you think about it, it's the David. It's the Star of David and the Shamrock, and the owners are Jewish and Irish. An interesting combination, to be sure. And they have like a really, really cool menu, and they're very, very nice people. I was there talking with somebody I met her today, a real estate agent, and I was telling her about all my varied interests. And she said, yeah, but I mean, would it be bad if I asked you just to be like if I could just use your electrical knowledge? And the reason that she said that was because she said, yeah, but she kept on asking me, but what do you really do? And I said, well, after 35 years in the business, electrical work is a little boring for me.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really exciting to me are there are a varied amount of things. at one time in my life, I thought that I could not put all the pieces together. You know, photography, you know, my love of clean food, you know, electrical work. They just did not seem to mesh. And many times people would say, yeah, well, what is it that you haven't done in life? So when she asked that question, it was really kind of interesting to me, because I thought, why do I have to be one specific thing? Because I'm known for that, because I have branded myself like that. But it doesn't mean that, you know, there are all these things that I am not interested in and that I can't do. So, of course, you can use me as an electrician, but I have the great joy of being able to pick my clients, pick my clientele, and pick my jobs. It's not a thing about, oh, I don't need your money. That's not it. The thing is, although I'm retired from the union, the thing is that I am in a position of saying, you know, I really like your energy. I really like the idea that we're working with here, you know, and so I get to get on these really cool projects, you know, and it doesn't mean that somebody's broken switch is not a priority, because it is. And that's the thing that's really important, is that, you know, you have a problem, let's take care of it, because I like you and I want to see you get going, you know, with your stuff. Why should you be stuck with all this little stuff that's easy for me to just take care of? You know,
well,
let's move on.
Right? I mean, it may not be a priority for you, and I don't mean you specifically, Bruce, but right. I mean the you of the electrical world. It might not be a priority for you,
yep.
But it is a priority for the person that the light switch is broken for, because it might be the only light switch in their place that is the key light or key source for turning that light on and producing electricity and giving them light.
Right.
You know, they might be bedridden. They might be, you know, you don't know their history, their lifestyle, and that might be the source of what keeps them, you know, motivated for the rest of the night or what have you.
That's why if you bring the humanistic part into your business and whatever it is that you do, you could be selling glasses. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, you wear glasses. You know what it's like when you take those glasses off, or you get your new prescription for something that you really need. You go, oh, wow. I mean, there's an aha moment about every 6 months or a year or whatever it is that you up your prescription. I know that because when I'm not wearing my glasses, well, hey, guess what? Things are not that clear. Yeah. There's something special about clarity. There's something special about clarity of message as well. And so when somebody, like you said that, you said it very, very well there, it may not be the most important thing to that electrician, to that electrical company, to that contractor. I'm tired of hearing people being, let's say, disregarded or dissed in our language now, right? Because somebody is just so focused on the money of it. I get the joy of not having to be focused on the money of it. And that is the freeing thing that allows me to just say, can I hear what your problem is? And if I hear, you know, like just on the phone, if I hear something, like I'm like, okay, you hook me in. I'm there, you know, and I'll do anything that it takes to get there. I mean, work on the weekends, do it at night. I'm not going to charge you extra for that shit. Come on.
Yeah. So
who really needs to do that?
I came from a big business, so a little bit about me is I've worked almost 10 years for BlackBerry.
Really?
Recently laid off, but I used to work in customer support, and I heard it all the time. Customers would be coming from their particular wireless carrier. They had an abundance of trouble, not with just their device, but or the situation that they were in, but they've asked for help from their wireless carrier. Their wireless carrier, unfortunately, this day and age, it's easy to hire minimum waged help and get, unfortunately, minimum wage style support.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Unfortunately, a lot of that is offshore, and I must say it's just the fact.
It's the fact of life. It's unfortunate. Big business needs more bodies in seats answering phones for metrics than they are worried about providing top tier technical support at whatever the wage is required.
More quality.
Exactly.
Yep. Right.
And it's unfortunate because we as BlackBerry, we've also and I say we in the past tense because where I used to work, but we've hired offshore support as well, and it was needed. And it's not so much offshore because we haven't gone to India per se for our tier, but we have for some of our internal support.
How about Philippines?
For IT and whatnot.
How about the Philippines?
It is. I think it's Philippines and some other place, but it's for our internal IT teams and stuff like that.
For a lot of call centers, I'm noticing, for carriers and others, the Philippines is unfortunately getting a bad rap. I know that for me, I was getting to a point where, and I was not brought up in a prejudice group at all. I mean, my family is nothing but accepting, very tolerant, very tolerant.
Very much. It's the same here. I mean, my internal family is diverse. It comes from pretty much Italian to Chinese and everything in between. So we love them. We love everybody.
So I come to DC and I see, a lot of prejudice here, a lot.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm fighting it all the time. And it's because I'm a champion for, I champion people for their own development, regardless of race and anything else, ethnicity, anything. I don't see it. However, being colorblind here is a bad thing to say because it's such a trite kind of comment. And I get that. I also get that I cannot comment as a white guy how African American or an African has what they see, in the world. I can't be living that. I realize that and I get it. However, I think that all of us can see prejudice and all of us can call to it and say and be strong enough, be a person enough, be a strong enough person, man or woman, child, whatever, to say that's wrong. It's hurtful. We don't do that here. I'm not going to accept it. And none of these people around you are going to accept it. When you act that way to me as a white guy, as if I don't have a room to stand in the same area that you do, then it's just like me doing the same thing. You wouldn't like it. I don't like it. We don't need to spread this to another generation of people, do we?
It's bullying all over again. I mean, it's everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everything comes full circle. What we've done as children, we end up doing again as adults, and then our children start doing it, and we tell them not to, and then they start doing it as adults again. It's just the circle of life. I mean, it's bound to happen.
And it goes further than like when I first started talking about the call centers. Yes. And you recognize that I said something about the Philippines are getting a bad rap.
Yeah.
The reason that I have come to that decision is because I felt in myself, and the only thing I can do is monitor me, right? As a person being brought up, like you were saying about yourself, in the same kind of a way that you were, in a very diverse kind of family, with very accepting kinds of tolerant kind of views. If I can come to that position of going, oh man, I don't know if I can deal with this person because that accent reminds me of, and then what? And then I go, wait a minute, what am I really saying here? No, you see, here's the deal. It's not about the accent and it's not about what they're saying. It's about the way that they are being trained to say certain things, to say and do certain things. And when I got to that, I got to my carrier and said, you know what? I'm looking for somebody who can really, really help me with my Apple device, for instance. My carrier was able to turn me on right to their Apple Care people within, and they're not Apple. They're doing a better job of it as my carrier than Apple does itself. There's something weird about that, but you got to give kudos where it's at, where they are. And one of the things that I've noticed about why they're so popular with me, and I think with a lot of their customers, is that they give such good training to these people that they don't need to fall back on that same old tired thing. When you say to somebody, you know what, I've got a problem with messaging. Oh yeah, I can understand that. A problem with messaging would really bother me. Yeah, and I'm here to help you do. And so you said that you have a problem with messaging. Wow, really? I mean, I don't need that. I don't need that as a customer. I don't need to hear that. it's baloney, you know. And what I do is with that is I get upset and I say, look, you know what, just go past all that stuff. Let's get to my problem. You don't need to repeat it to me. It's not like a counseling session here. So when I figured out that this is exactly what they're doing with people that are offshore, because there's a language barrier. So it's like you can do this fallback thing. You know, the very worst you can do is, the very best you can do here is just repeat what they say, because that will make them know that you're listening to them. But it doesn't do it. It's annoying. So we need to be able to tell our companies, look, if you're going to offshore the work, if you're going to outsource the work, we understand that we can't be the people that say you've got to have it here in America. Would we all like that? Of course. Many of us would. But we can't do that. The second thing to do, I think, is to say, please educate the people a little bit more so that they don't have to do these tired things of just repeating over and over again and then promising things that they can't do. They need to be able to know you need to send this to the next level, and you have people at that level that will deal with it, you know? So it's just my 2 cents worth. I think that there's a lot to offshoring. I think there's a lot to, diversity. There's a lot to prejudice, that we covered. But the bottom line is there are answers to these things, and there are answers that hit your heart. Because nobody really thinks that that being prejudiced is a great idea. Yeah. I don't know a lot of people who feel that way.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is there's a picture that says that nobody's born prejudiced. It's something that it kind of comes from society and goes in. There's
definitely nurtured.
Love for all the stuff that's been being discussed through on. I don't know if you've seen on the chat on there and through Periscope. There's been people kind of pinging up messages and things saying, supporting kind of all the opinions as well. And there's been a lot of good feedback and people really appreciating the cast.
Good.
And we are going to wrap it up in a sec. This was supposed to be a quick broadcast that started about
just a test
2 hours ago now. So
well, you know what? Some of the friends out there who are blabbers and part of the blab family as we have. Will know that it's no unusual thing that Bruce has gotten into another talk. But you know what?
We appreciate your time of jumping on and doing it. And actually, you're actually reaching an audience through Periscope at the same time. So
I appreciate that. That's very good. I'm glad.
We're just doing a tech test for that to see, because we do a thing where we share. I can spin this around so that people can see you. Where we share knowledge with people. We bring those people together to all share that knowledge at the same time, which we're now doing through Blab, but we actually broadcast it out through Periscope, and we wanted to connect the two. And today we finally got the tech together to make that happen. And we were just testing, and unfortunately that test ended up being a 2 hour odd call. But yeah, it's been great, and I appreciate you guys jumping in, and we've had quite a few people in today helping and
that's great. That's great.
Thanks.
I will ask you one thing. Please follow me, you in particular, follow me, because I would love to work out some more stuff with your company. I think it's fantastic stuff that you guys are doing. And, it's all about like what we were talking about, all of the sharing, all of that openness. I'm all for it. And I think that it can only help us all grow. So please follow me, and DM me sometime so that we may discuss this privately as well.
Yeah, cool. I think I already connected with you on here and on Twitter, but I'll make sure I pack your message off.
Great. Good deal. I'm going to get going. I guess I've got to get some sleep at some point in my life. Yeah. So it's been a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
I really appreciate it.
Hey, great speaking with you, Bruce, and
thank
Tristan.
you, sir.
Sorry, my video isn't working. I had a major catastrophe on my laptop, and it looks like I might need a reboot. But hopefully, you're able to hear
wondering.
me.
No drama. So we were just going to wrap up anyway, because like I said, it was just a test that turned into a 2 hour call. So we'll call it a day there. Thanks again, Jason, for jumping in.
I think that was a productive test, I think.
Yeah, well, it proved it worked, and a lot of people got excited about the new possibilities of what you can do, because there have been quite a few people asking about it, and now we've kind of gone on and shown that it can be done. We had, I don't know if you guys were on when Brian Fanzo came on from iSocial Fans.
No,
he's excited about bringing up, he's probably going to hog all 4 feeds, one with his Periscope, one with his Meerkat, his tweet deck, and then maybe even his face. So that would be a really interesting broadcast to watch out for, seeing how you can bring all of those technologies into one space.
Tristan, are you going to put a how-to together on this, what you just did here tonight?
Yeah, I'm actually going to probably do a broadcast. I won't go through this one because I did discuss it a little bit in here, but people don't want to scan through 2 hours of trying to find that. So I would probably do a short how-to. We're going actually live tonight. I'm not sure if we're going to go 8 or 9 o'clock Sydney time. And that's when our group kind of have time in the evenings. A lot of them have like kids or, other commitments. So in the evenings gives us a chance to get together and share our knowledge again. We try not to put too much because obviously we've got a lot on individually. We generally try to do one a week, but with something like this where we've just hit a bit of tech where everybody wants it, we thought, if we can jump on and add some value for people, we'll try and do that later today. So I'm going to schedule, if you're following me, I'm going to schedule the lab. So yeah, I mean, even if you guys can see on the bottom here, there's people through Periscope asking how we managed to do it as well. So yeah, I think if I say between 8 and 9, I'm going to speak to the other guys and I'll put it up as a scheduled blab so you guys can subscribe and see, so you can jump on if you want to see that later on.
Well, awesome. That'd be great.
Excellent.
No worries.
I'm not sure if I'll be here, but I'll be able to hopefully follow along after the fact.
Yeah, we'll do a record on it as well so that if anyone can't get on, then we can share it with them as well.
Beauty.
Yeah, I think it's been recorded here, right?
Yeah,
it's been recorded because it's on the record. It says so. Yeah, it'll be in a couple places. That's great, fantastic.
Cool. Thanks.
I got to get going. You guys take care. Take care. It was wonderful meeting you. I'm really glad. I'm very happy that you brought me into this. I'm honored to be in your presence, and I hope that the rest of your evening is without too much trouble.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Bruce. Thanks again, Jason.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, Tristan and Bruce. Hope we get to connect again soon.
Yeah.
Oh, we will.
Oh, awesome. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. So guys, for those of you who are on Periscope who are tuning, or if you're watching the replay, apologies for the long broadcast. What we were doing today was we wanted to test whether we could put Periscope live out through Blab. So it's blab.im. It's actually a video streaming platform where we can bring 4 people together for interview. And we've just proved that can be done. In fact, if I spin back around this way, you can see, it's a bit difficult to see, but you can see that we're actually still live on the stream on blab.im over here. So people from Periscope, you can jump over. There's a conversation within Blab. I'll just show you the structure of the platform. Obviously, we're tweeting out the link through our Twitter account. There's seats for 4 people to come in and talk here. And then on the right-hand side, there is actually a chat platform within Blab. You can also then see up at the top here, you can see who is viewing, who's live on the feed. So we're going to do a how-to on that and how you can bring your other streaming platforms together. It's a really hot topic this month, and hopefully we have Brian Fanzo. Obviously, we've had Jason and Bruce jumped in, various people, Eileen, some of the guys from Blab were quite active in there. We had Ryan Steinolfsson. So it's been quite a diverse Periscope and Blab broadcast today. So guys, if you've appreciated it, we will be doing a short video on this so you guys can share that with your followers and invite your friends. But we've also recorded the whole session that is live on blab.im. So thanks a lot, guys, for all of those of you who tuned in during the broadcast, for those of you who sent some hearts and shared this with anyone. We really appreciate it. Sorry that this one was just supposed to be a test, and like we say, it ran for 2 hours. So thanks a lot for the time, guys. Please do, if you get a chance, jump over and check out blab.im. Between 8 and 9 o'clock this evening, Sydney time, we will be going live on blab.im with a how-to and some more business tips for anyone if you want to jump in and ask things. If you want to, if you wanted to ask any questions ahead of that time, there's now a hashtag that's hashtag AskPeriTribe. That's AskPeri Tribe, TRIBE. Yeah, just fire any questions on there, and then we'll bring that up during the feed and we'll have a look. So thanks a lot, guys, on Periscope. Thanks for tuning in, and we really appreciate your time. Thanks, guys. And thanks to everybody who was also tuned in on blab.im live. Appreciate all of you guys spending some time with us and interacting. We will be doing, like I said, a live blab session later on this evening, Sydney time, about 8 or 9 o'clock. So that's in about 5 or 6 hours from Sydney. So guys, we're going to schedule that up now. And if you get a chance to join us, great. If not, we will we will be recording the session, and that session will go out through our Twitter. So if you follow us on Twitter as well, it'd be great to connect with you all. Thanks a lot, guys.